One of the biggest hurdles with FBA is that it actually does take some startup money. A lot of people let this discourage them from actually getting started in the business. My goal in this video is to show you exactly what you can do to get started into Amazon FBA with the least amount of money possible. In my personal experience, I think about in my head about $2,000 per product launch. $2,000. And I personally, maybe it's my own opinion, but I personally don't think you should skimp in that area. Yes, I know I did say that, and I still stand by it as the optimal way to get started in this business. I just don't want you to think that a lack of funds should keep you from at least attempting a private label business. So I went out of my way to research the best methods to get a private label product off the ground with as little cost as possible. First, let's be clear. There are some aspects to this business that you will have to spend some money on. Those include your Amazon seller account, which will, as of right now, be $40 a month, and that's just the price you pay to play on Amazon. Next is the sample order from your manufacturer. This isn't required by any means. You can actually place the bulk order without getting a sample order. However, I highly don't recommend doing that because you don't want to order 500 or 1,000 units of something that you've never seen or held in your hands before. You're just asking for quality control issues at that point, which leads us into the next expense, which is actually your full bulk order. You're going to have to spend money on inventory. I hope this isn't news to anybody that wants to get into private label, but you're not drop shipping here. You do need inventory sitting in Amazon's warehouse so that you can get the prime shipping. I know what you're thinking. Well, I've heard of somebody drop ship on Amazon. Trust me, I've heard enough horror stories to know that Amazon does not appreciate that. They will find you and they will ban you. It's not worth risking your entire seller account to try to drop ship on Amazon. And the last expense is PPC ads. Again, technically, you don't have to run any PPC ads, but without running ads, you will find it harder to rank and to get to page one, which ultimately is your goal with any product. It's very hard organically to make that happen if customers can't see your product when you don't rank on page one, which is kind of the point of PPC ads. Now, let's talk about some of the aspects of the business which you do have a choice to spend money on or not. And in the case of this video, we won't be using any of these. The first is coaching. Obviously, you don't need a coach. The second is paid product research software. There are workarounds to this. Obviously, it's nice to have a paid tool that will give you insight into what the best products are to launch, but again, you don't need it. The next is profit and analytics software, so you can be able to see how profitable your business is as well as each individual product. But again, for the case of this video, we're not gonna get it. Next is listing creation software. There's a lot of tools that focus on AI and keywords to help you build the absolute optimal perfect listing. Not in this video. Next would be running offsite ads to get traffic to your listing, aka TikTok or Instagram ads. These are paid media, so again, paid, not happening. And beyond that is any excess marketing that would require money. That could be influencers, that could be a website that you own and pay for, or any other paid services from somebody to market your product for you. Okay, so let's talk about the three main aspects of Amazon FBA where we can control if we spend money or not. This is product research, listing creation, and marketing. So let's say I wanted to start with as little as possible. We're gonna assume that you already have your account set up and ready to go. So the first thing you're gonna need to do is find a product. Enter the product research phase. Since we're not using any paid platforms, let's analyze our options. First up, TikTok. Feel free to browse TikTok and see if you can find any trending products. Typically, these will pop up in ads that you see. And if you see these ads often, there's a good chance that these products are working. Next is Instagram ads. It's the same type of thing. If you're seeing products that pop up frequently or products that you think fit a good market, these again are product ideas that you can take and try to improve on and sell. You can also check free websites like Etsy, Pinterest, and Facebook to try to identify trending products or products that you think you could differentiate that have a market. But again, for any of these platforms, do not just steal an idea of a product that somebody is selling. Other than that kind of being unethical, chances are you won't see success with that product on Amazon because it's probably already there. And if you can't find a way to differentiate that product or improve upon it or fill a need in a market that hasn't been filled yet, you probably won't see success anyways. Another option of something you can do is actually go onto Amazon, click on the hamburger menu over here, and look at best sellers or new releases and movers and shakers. This will give you an idea of what is trending on Amazon right now, just as like another tool to help get the juices flowing and to see exactly what you could be selling. Once you found a product that you feel good about moving forward with, we're going to need to do a little bit more research and dig into the analytics. Without software, that can be a little bit tough. However, luckily for us, Helium 10, which in my personal opinion right now is the #1 software for Amazon private label sellers, has a free version, which is very limited, but still usable. Let's jump in and take a look at what it can do. So right here, let's say we're trying to search and sell this tennis backpack right here. So I can see that there are some options that people have, but if we want to look into the analytics, we're going to use the Helium 10 Chrome extension here. We'll pull up X-Ray, and here we can kind of see that there is a decent amount of search volume. So you are gonna get search volume here. You're gonna get average reviews. You're gonna get average price. You're gonna be able to see the review count for these. You're gonna see some basic information that's going to give you a little bit of insight into these products. Again, unfortunately, since this is the free version, it's limited. We can't see the sales. We can't see the sales graph. We can't see the revenue that they do. We can't see where they're from. And a lot of that is crucial information if you wanna dive deep into the analytics to really nail down the perfect product. But for now, let's just sort these by review count so we can see what is getting the highest amount of reviews right now. This one almost has 5,000. This 2,500. So there are some pretty big players in this market, but again, this is just an example, and we do have a relatively low average reviews. So that tells us that there are a couple big players in this market, but probably a lot of smaller players. So if we could improve on this product at all, if we had an idea of how to do so, this might not be a bad market to enter. So now let's say we want to look into a couple of these top competitors. So we'll grab a couple of these. We'll take these first 5 and then maybe a couple down here that are similar to what we want to do. Now, in a normal case, we would run Cerebro right here and take a deep dive into the keywords and analytics to decide if these keywords are something that we can go after, that we can realistically target and see some success in that market. And if the keywords are being searched frequently enough with relatively low competition that we feel like we could enter and succeed in this market. Unfortunately for us, we're running the free version. We don't have Cerebro. If you don't have Cerebro, you're essentially playing a guessing game as to what your customers are actually searching for, because you don't know the keywords that the top competitors are seeing success with. Here's the free workaround. Now, keep in mind, this is a much more tedious process than just simply using Cerebro, but this is how you can still do accurate product research for free. Keep in mind, on the free version, you can only do this 2 times a month. So in order to unlock the listing analyzer more often, you will need to jump to a paid version. But again, wait to utilize this feature until you're pretty sure on a product, because you are, again, only going to get 2 attempts at this per month. So what we're going to want to do is select our main competitor, which looks most closely like ours, which would be this one. We're going to go ahead and select their ASIN. We're going to put that into the ASIN search bar here, and we're going to hit run analysis. So once we've done that, we'll see the listing analysis pop up here. If we scroll down here, we can see the keywords that they are ranking for, and we can actually select search volume here. So you're going to want to switch this from highest to lowest, and you can see the keywords here that they are ranking for, as well as the CPR number. If you're unfamiliar with what the CPR number is, it is right here. It's the estimated number of units that need to be sold over 8 days resulting from a search for this keyword in order for the product to rank on the top half of page 1 for this keyword. So essentially, this means that for tennis backpack, you would need to be selling about 45 units over an 8-day period in order to be ranking on page 1 for this highly sought after keyword. So again, and this gets a little bit more into product research analysis. I won't go too deep into this, but you're going to want to be focusing on some of these lower hanging fruit keywords that closely match your product, but that you can compete with. Bottom line is, the listing analyzer is a shortcut way that you can see product research analytics. Okay, once you have all the product research done and you know your product, enter the listing creation phase. What you're going to want to do here is jump into a Google Doc, because again, Google Docs are free, and you're going to enter your title, your bullet points, description, and backend search terms here. So starting with the title, what you're going to want to do is go over here and analyze your competition and just look at what they are doing for their titles. Pay attention to the keywords that they're throwing in. Obviously, you don't want to be using any of their brand names, but focus on what they're doing as far as placing keywords within their titles: tennis racket bags, stylish and innovative tennis bag, ideal sports backpack. If we look at another one similar to what we're doing, we've got extra large tennis bag, tennis backpack with shoe compartment, waterproof for men and women to hold tennis racket, pickleball paddles, badminton racket, squash racket, and other outdoor sports accessories. So again, just pay attention to how they're placing these keywords into their title and focus on using the keywords that you found to place them in your title. So you'll jump back over, you'll write your title here. For bullet points and description, we have an interesting one. Jump on over to ChatGPT and let AI be your friend. ChatGPT is very good for e-commerce sellers when writing descriptions and bullet points. We can say something like, I need 5 bullet points for an Amazon listing. The product is a tennis racket bag. Use the keywords tennis bag, large racket bag, and waterproof. And then we watch ChatGPT do its work. See, as you can see right here, we've got our 5 bullet points. So what you can do is go ahead and copy that over. And you may want to make some edits to this just to make sure it matches up with your product perfectly, but it does give you a great start. And then you can go ahead and do the same thing with the description. Again, as you can see, this is why AI is taking over. Right here, we've got 5 great paragraphs that we can pick and choose from to add into our description. This is just absolutely ridiculous. So go ahead and take whatever you want from this, place it in here, and feel free to edit it, make it look good, keep what you want to keep, don't keep what you don't want to keep. And then here, back end search terms, if you know how product listings work, you're going to want to put in any back end search terms that won't appear in your listing or your description, but that you still may want to rank for or that are important to your product. All those search terms you're going to want to enter here. From this point, the next most important part of your listing being created is actually taking your product photo. If you're a professional photographer or you're good at photography, this part's easy and it's free. However, if you don't take your own images, you would need to pay for this. But since we're going free and we're assuming you're not a professional photographer, use your phone, get the best quality images that you possibly can, make good lighting, use a free software like Canva to be able to create some infographics pointing out differentiating factors of your product, and use those in your product photos, as well as make sure that you add a video in there now that Amazon is letting non-brand registered users add video to their listing. And from there, now we enter the marketing phase. Since we're not utilizing any paid ads, our best option right now is to create a free TikTok account for our brand and to start posting videos there. The goal here is just to gain as much reach as possible. You want to be creative and think about what would be the most eye-catching thing they could see in the first 3 to 5 seconds of this video relating to your product to catch their attention. The goal here is comments and shares. Be the marketer. Show the customer exactly why they need this product. Okay, again, guys, keep in mind, this is not the ideal way to start a private label FBA business. If you're going to ask me the best way, of course I would advise you to seek out a coach and use paid research and analytic tools, but that's not the purpose of this video. I wanted to make this video to show that anybody could get started in this business if they really want to. Don't let the lack of funds be the excuse that holds you back into getting into any side hustle. There are so many ways to be creative nowadays to figure out how to do things at a low cost or free. It just takes a little bit of extra effort to figure it out. If you are ready to take it to the next level and you have the funds to back a business like this, which I typically say is anywhere in like a starting range of $2,000, then go ahead, find a coach, get enrolled in the correct softwares, and get the help you need to launch this business in the most efficient way possible. If that is the route you want to take, I'll leave the link down below to all the resources that you may need. Thank you for watching this video, guys. As always, you got this. Starting a side hustle is definitely a viable source of income in 2023. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.